Hey guys, my name is Robbie Split. I'm a big goose hunter. I live in Bismarck, North Dakota. I just wanted to make a video trying to help some new guys trying to come on the scene as far as goose calls go. I know when I first started, I was a little confused on what I needed or what route I should go, but I got some information that might kind of help you. One thing is you gotta kind of know, are you just gonna dabble in this or do you want to get serious about it? If you think this is gonna be something that you're gonna really enjoy and want to put a lot of time and effort into, I would definitely advise spending some bigger bucks on your first goose call. The reason why I say that is because I feel like the better call you buy, the easier it is to learn how to call. And I know that from experience. And I just wanted to show you guys what I got here, the collection in front of me. Now, this one right here is a zinc call. I believe it's the Power Clucker. And that's like a $20, $30 call. Next right here is the Molt Gear Rush call, which I just bought this year. I think it's one of their newer calls. And then I just got this one in the mail. This is the Molt Gear X Series EX3 goose call. And I was just gonna go over these a little bit to kind of help you new guys decide what it is you want to do with these calls. It does take a lot of practice in learning how to call. I mean, I would spend half an hour every day just blowing this call in a place where I wouldn't piss somebody off, you know, being loud. But so you are gonna need to practice a lot. And if you're that guy that's, you know, thinking about getting into goose hunting, you don't have a lot of time, you just kind of want to dabble in it, maybe you want to go with a cheaper call if you don't want to get too invested. But like I said, if you're that guy that you can see yourself digging into the sport pretty good, what I would advise to do, and what I should have done, was save some money and just buy an expensive call right away. I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but right here is the $20 to $30 zinc goose call that I could have totally bypassed and just not even bought that had someone told me, you know, hey, it's actually going to be more beneficial for you to buy an expensive call right away. So like I said, this is about a $20, $30 call. This one's about $150 and this one's about $150. And the differences between all of these are huge and can make a huge difference as far as what kind of a goose caller you're gonna be. Now, I didn't really start to get kind of good until this year, and even with that being said, there's still a lot of improvement for me. I got years and years of practicing left, but one thing I noticed is once I upgraded, this was the call that I really started practicing on, the Rush. These short barrel, short reed goose calls, to me, are just hands down way easier to learn how to call, and compared to the zinc call. Now this one here is a good call as well, and this is actually becoming my new favorite. And this one here, the X Series, is designated more towards the giant Canadian goose. Well, I live here in Bismarck, North Dakota, and we got a lot of giants up here, and this Rush is probably going to be more dedicated towards your cackling geese. And I really didn't know that as much when I bought this call. You know, we do have lessers and cacklers here, but for the majority of the hunting that we do, it's going to be the giant, which this would be the call to have. So I'll just go through a few of these calls here and show you the differences. Now I'll take this call. This is a $20, $30 call, zinc, not my favorite. And I'm gonna blow for you the way that I would have a year ago. So I was not putting any chest, any diaphragm, nothing into it. I was blowing this goose call just like any newcomer would. I was just going like this. Sounds like shit, to be honest, but so there's a big difference here on what you can do. You can make this call sound better, and by better I mean more goosey. And the way you do that is you bring in a lot of air from your diaphragm, and you're not just blowing air out of your mouth, you're blowing it from your entire chest cavity. So let's show you the difference. Here's that first call. Now here's the way I would call this cheap call. Now you can hear the big difference there, and you know, even to a newcomer here, the way I just blew that call, they would be like, yeah, that sounds good. Well, it sounds okay, but a better call definitely does help. So I'll put that to the side. I'll grab this guy. So this is the Rush. Like I said, this is Molt Gear's call, new call from this year. And I really fell in love with this call. And I'll blow this, and I'll blow this like I would have a year ago. Just blowing air out of my mouth. Now I'll blow it the way you're supposed to. Now you can tell a big difference there, and that's definitely a more higher pitch call. And you know, if I could go back in time, I probably would have just bought this one here instead. So one thing I did learn about these Molt Gear calls, I was listening to a podcast that the Scott Thrennen was on. He's the owner and the maker of these Molt Gear calls, and he said there is a difference when it comes to colors in your call, which I would never have guessed. So supposedly, if I would have bought this one in like a midnight blue like this, it wouldn't have quite as deep of a tone as the white. For some reason, their white will give it a tiny bit different sound, and you know, most people probably didn't know that, and I didn't either until I listened to that podcast. So that's why I bought this one, which is supposed to sound like a Giant, and then I went with the white as well to give it, you know, if there is a little bit deeper of a tone, help me out with that. So I'll blow this call. I'll blow this the way I would a year ago, and then how I do it now. Absolutely no chest diaphragm going into it at all. So now I'll blow it the right way. Yeah, I love this call, man. This is definitely my new go-to call right here. I think Scott does a really good job on Molt Gear. You know, I don't have a ton of other Goose calls. I got a Tim Grounds one that is a wood one that sounds okay. I don't use it too often, but he worked on it before he passed away, and so now I kind of just keep that in my relics and just enjoy the fact that I have a call that Tim Grounds worked on before he passed away. But I hope this video helps. You know, I know I was a little confused when it came to getting into the Goose game and what calls and, you know, how to practice and all that. But, you know, if you start off with a good call right away, you're definitely going to give yourself a better chance at sounding better. I mean, yeah, this $30 call, I could, you know, I can sound okay with it. But as far as practicing and learning, I really do believe that, you know, getting up to that $100 range or maybe even more is going to help you out. I did practice on that basic grammar DVD I bought, which Scott makes from Molt Gear as well. And that was a huge help. Give you a ton of tips on it. So yeah, I got lots of practicing yet to do, but I feel like I'm well on my way to becoming a decent goose caller. I'm not trying to be the best in the world, but I just want to be good and confident and, you know, be able to hold my own, so to speak. So I hope this video helps, and if you got any questions, let me know, and I'll try to reply back as soon as I can. Thanks.